This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, Jay McLovin, and Frankie the Yankee. How's it going, guys?
Well, Frankie's fired up, got his Yankees jersey on.
Let's go, Tony. Let's go. Subway Series in the Bronx on a beautiful day here in New York. I'm so excited. Let's go, Judge, and Juan Soto.
Well, we'll get into that baseball. We'll definitely get into that. Maybe me and Chris will talk a little bit about the Pete Rose night, even though we got our ass kicked by the White Sox. Jesus Christ. But,
it's okay. Houston also lost to the White Sox a couple weeks ago.
Of course, they played good the next day. The game we wasn't there, yeah. We put up 7 runs the next day. That's how it goes. But let's get started, guys. Let's talk a little bit about last night's game. Denver Nuggets beating Oklahoma 119-107 and forced a game 7, which will be Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Jay, what do you think about that game?
Well, I'll tell you what. It looks like, I don't know if they heard our show or not, but Denver definitely must have heard the show. They did a much better job shooting the ball. They definitely did a better job shooting the 3 ball. They went from like 28 up to like 37%, going 12 out of 32. And for some odd reason, I guess OKC forgot to shoot out the 3 ball because they went 11 of 40 for 27.5%. So again, sometimes I think Sonia said it best yesterday. You either live or die by the 3 ball sometimes, and it can either make you look great or it can really sink you in the pooper. And that's really what happened. This is another classic example of that. And the one thing I noticed was, I believe it was the free throws. Let me pull that up real quick. I forgot what the actual. Yeah, there we go. So that was another big thing. Denver did 2 things really well that got them the win. One is that they did better at shooting the 3 ball. And 2, they got to the foul line much more at 27 made free throws out of 32, which is 84.4% to OKC's 10 of 16 for 62.5. So those are the 2 biggest things I saw as to why Denver was able to win that game. 1, free throws, fouls got OKC into foul trouble. They were converting their 3 free throws, and they had a much higher field goal percentage from the arc. Those were the biggest things. You can also look, I believe it was like I said, the fouls. Yeah, they got them 28 fouls for OKC to 16 fouls for Denver. And Tony, I said this before, if the 3 ball isn't falling, take your ass to the rim because it does a lot of things for you. When you go to the rim, number 1, you can draw the foul. If you draw the foul, you're going to put them in foul trouble and get them off the court. Number 2, if you convert your free throws, you get an old-fashioned 3-point play, which is a higher percentage 3-point play than trying to hit it from the freaking arc. And that was a good example of that in this OKC game versus Denver. And ultimately, that's really what helped Denver out, was the fact that they were able to convert their shots, get OKC into foul trouble, and convert their free throws. That was huge for them, guys.
Yeah, the thing that stood out to me, and I agree with what you said with the game, but the thing that stood out to me looking at the stats and stuff, which I watched a lot of the game, Joker was, Joker, 29 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. But Murray had a good game with 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Yeah. And then Braun, the other guard, 23 points, 11 rebounds for him. That's unusual, and 5 assists. But a guy off the bench, I didn't know who this dude is. Strother had 15 points off the bench. And, a lot of players stepped up. The one guy who didn't step up, a guy who's been stepping up, had a bad game. Gordon didn't have a good game at all. I think he went like 5 points. Or something like that. He won a lot.
Yeah.
But that thing stood out to me. Frankie, what was your take on the game?
Yeah, I watched it after like the 3rd quarter, after halftime, because I was busy watching baseball. But from what I saw in the second half, like you said, Tony and Jay, is more people stepped up in Denver or for Denver, and that's what they needed, because literally the first 3-4 games, hell, even 5 games, it's been nothing but Joker the entire time. And I said this to Jay many times, is what OKC needs to do is just let Joker be Joker, and all you need to do is stop everyone else. If you can continue to do that, you can end this series. Plus, on another note, OKC's faster, right? And Jay has seen it, and I have mentioned it many times as well. Joker's not fast. He cannot keep up with the pace of OKC. So if OKC could continue to do that, that would help out. But I didn't see that last night. And the reason why, and I don't want to make excuses for OKC because that's not my team or whatever, but I mentioned this to Jay. I said I can see a Game 7 come out of this. One reason only, because they had to go back to Denver. We know how Denver plays when they're home, and then the high altitude changes on other teams who's not comfortable or from there. So a lot it takes from OKC losing this game. But the main take on why they lost is because what you said, Tony, they had other players step up that mostly never show up. So that was a big plus on Denver. Now we got a Game 7 going back to OKC. This is going to be a great game, and I expect OKC to kind of get their heads out of their ass from Game 6 and get the victory here and move on and play the Timberwolves. Chris?
Yeah, I think the big thing, I agree with what you guys have said, but the big thing to me for Denver was the rebounding. And that's what really hurt the Thunder in that game. They got out rebounded by 12 rebounds and got out offensive rebound as well. So I mean, you give Denver second opportunities, and the big thing for Denver too, the ball was moving a lot more. It wouldn't. I mean, they ended up with what 30 close or 27 assists as a team. The ball was moving a lot. It wasn't just like Frankie said, all Joker trying to score. He was finding teammates, and teammates were finally hitting shots where they hadn't sometimes, which they have a lot of the series. I mean, if you watch this series, Denver has led most of the games going into the fourth quarter, and have not been able to close them out the games that they've lost. So it's not. So I mean, all these games have been games that Denver was right there and could have won, and OKC could have won. This time it seemed like more, like you guys said, more people stood up for the Nuggets, and I think the Nuggets experience is going to help carry them in Game 7.
Yeah, I really like what you said there, Chris. That's a very strong point, is the fact that Denver was able to close out the game, because in this series multiple times Denver has gone into the fourth quarter with the lead, lost the lead, and then failed to close it out. So that was a huge point, Chris. The fact that they were able to close out the game, right? And they're going to need to do that in Game 7, especially now that they're going back to OKC. Excuse me. So they're going to have to go there. Now they're going to get an OKC crowd in there, and I'm hoping that they can figure out how to close the game in that fourth quarter as well.
My original prediction was 7 games and the Thunder winning, but I tell you what, man, if I had a team and I had any player to be on my team going into Game 7, I think I'd like for it to be Joker. So, I mean, it's just one game now. That's all it is. I mean, I know it's on the road, but I'm going to stick with my pick of Thunder. But man, I got a feeling the Nuggets with that experience might pull it out.
Tony, I like what you just said there too, right? It's like you're coming down to a Game 7. You wouldn't want nobody else in a Game 7 on a road than having a 2-time MVP, NBA champion, NBA Finals champion, everything like that, than Joker to come out and help you win a Game 7. But here's another thing, Tony, is Joker, like I said, Joker's going to go out there and do Joker things. Every single game this series, he's had a double-double, triple-double. It doesn't matter. OKC is knowing what to do. Joker's going to go out there and be a monster. I guarantee you we're going to see a 40-point game, probably a 50-point game out of Joker. We're going to see probably like a 15 rebound. I wouldn't be surprised if we get 8 to 10 assists, maybe even more than 10. But then again, like I said, if they could stop everybody else, then OKC can walk away with this. It's not going to be a blowout. And that's what I like about this series right here, is not every game was a blowout. Every game was a close win or a close loss. I'm liking this series. I'm loving this series. And I'm going to go with Tony on this. It's going to be a Game 7 OKC. Let Joker do what he do, but stop everybody else. Because if Joker scores 50 points and everybody else scores like 8, 10 points or whatever, and you got everybody else on OKC going double digits, you could tell by the score math it's not going to equal out.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yeah, I think
the key's Murray. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. I think you're exactly right. Murray, I got a feeling Murray will show up. My biggest thing is if Murray's 3-ball isn't on, will he have the cognizant ability to understand that take it to the paint? If my 3-ball's not working, can I take it to the paint and start, trying to get the old-fashioned 3? 2 is I wonder if Michael Porter Jr. will also understand that, because Michael Porter Jr. has a propensity to take a lot of shots from free-point line but not convert. And I hope he will actually do the same thing. It's all about. I want them to. I want Denver. I hope what Denver does, they rely more heavily on going to the paint and scoring in the paint than trying to score at the 3-ball. I think if they try to score at the 3-ball, that's going to wind up hurting them, because I feel like that's a low percentage shot. They're going to miss it a lot more often, give a lot more giveaways to allow OKC to extend the lead. And that's really what I think is a weakness to this team. They've got to attack the paint. That's more where their success is. Obviously getting foul trouble and being able to close out the quarter, because you're going to have more energy when you're up when you have more success at the 3-point line. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm going to write Denver on this one. I like, the fact that they're doing this without a coach. Can you imagine if they actually had Michael Malone or somebody coaching them and giving them strategy tips and stuff? I don't know if Ottoman's doing that effectively. But
if they would have had Michael Malone, Jay, they would have probably lost this series a long time ago.
I don't know. I mean, I hear you, but this is also the same Michael Malone that got them a damn championship. So I don't want to go all in on that. I mean, I think there probably should have been some discussions there. But regardless, I like the Denver Nuggets story. I like to fire your coach and ride a newbie in there and basically let Joker lead the way. And I'm going to ride this Denver. I'm going to stay on this Denver train. And I think if they can figure out how to close the fourth quarter in OKC, it's going to be a good matchup with Minnesota.
Kristen, you picked Denver originally?
Yeah, I picked Denver before the series started.
I assume you're sticking with that.
I had Denver and Minnesota out of the West, and I had the Celtics and Pacers out of the East was what I picked before the series started.
We got 2 Oklahomas and 2 Denver.
Hell yeah.
It should be a great game. Unfortunately, I'll be at a wrestling show. So Sunday, Denver.
By the way, can I just say one thing before we get to the next game?
They gave them 2 days?
Yep.
Hey, so
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Monday Night Raw is coming to Houston. And I started checking out the prices because I actually was telling Melanie I'd like to go to it. And then I realized it's $165 a piece at the nosebleed.
Damn.
And the freaking nosebleed. That doesn't account parking. That doesn't account travel time. It's $165 a. I can't even think about trying to tell Melanie, hey, darling, would you mind staying home and letting me go see Monday Night Raw by myself? Because she's going to slap me. And then number 2, I've got to go with you. And then when I tell her how much it is, she's really going to say, oh, hell no, neither one of us going.
That's the new price for cheap seats now, Jay.
God, man.
Cheapskate.
Nah, sometimes you got to be a cheapskate, bro. That's crazy.
It's Netflix.
I looked at tickets for Pacers Celtics. I think game 3. It'd be game 3. Or it'd be the first home game for the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals on next Sunday.
Yeah.
Just the very top row at the top of the building, $250. Cheapest ticket to get in the building.
Yeah, it's insane. It's that they're catering to the wealthy. Because, and look, Monday Night Raw is at the Toyota Center. That's where the Rockets play. It's not like it's at Energy or some huge stadium. It's at a moderately compact stadium. But if I wanted to get a ticket, I guess with a decent view, not like up front, but a decent view, it still is like $500 per person. $1,000 for a medium viewpoint ticket or tickets. Nah, I'm good. I'll just watch it on Netflix.
That's how it is now, but people buy them, so their prices are going to stay that way because hell, like prices were marked up big time. Prices were marked up big time for the Pete Rose night the other night for Reds and White Sox, a Wednesday night game that usually you get tickets pretty cheap. Tickets were marked up for that, and they had 44,000 people there. I mean, that game was crazy.
That's insane. 44,000 people for a cheater.
Yep. Ain't cheating, ain't competing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd talk. Before I forgot about that, I wanted to talk to you guys about that ticket prices. I couldn't believe how expensive it was. That just blew me for a loop, man.
As long as people pay it, they're going to keep on it. Yeah, they give them 2 days off, and the same thing for the if this Knicks series goes to a 7th game, they won't play again until Monday.
That don't make no sense because they didn't give them 2 days off any other time they traveled through that series. Because that was one of the discussions.
Hey, Big Glenn, I got a question for you since you're. Hey, first of all, hey, glad to have you on the show. But I have a question for you, Big Glenn. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You seem to have all the accessibility to the best seats in the house. I saw you yesterday. It looked like you were just a couple of rows back from home plate. I see you. You always had the best seats. And I don't know if you're like a freaking cajillionaire or what it is you're doing to get these tickets. Maybe you're doing some mafia deals. I don't know. But I just want to know, man, if I give you a reach around, can you give me a couple of tickets to Buttermilk Raw?
A reach around. I can try. I can try winning some tickets and flip them for you. That's pretty much how I do it.
Yeah, man. Listen, I need you to flip me a whole damn elephant, man.
He wanting to flip something.
Let me go grab a forklift real quick.
Put this way, Jay.
Whole different direction. I thought we were gonna go there.
Yeah.
For that game,
I thought you were asking me something about the Cowboys or the Pacers or something, you know.
For the game,
I'm just trying to go to Monday Night Raw, man.
Yeah,
with that Reds game, the tickets we had, we were 9 rows from the field.
You guys probably paid about the same price I did.
I paid double what I normally would have paid for that ticket because it was
because you probably reach around. You're not telling nobody. I get it, man. It's okay. You want to keep it down low? I got you.
I'm gonna be real, right now, and I'm not gonna be mean or nothing like this, but I'm pretty sure Glenn is a Make-A-Wish kid. I'm pretty sure Glenn is a Make-A-Wish kid. You can't sit there and tell me that my man Glenn is winning freaking NASCAR seats. He's winning.
Not just NASCAR seats. Hey, no, not just NASCAR seats. This dude is damn near on the track and meeting all the drivers. I mean, come on.
And then he gets close seats behind home plate on Pete Rose night.
Yeah.
Okay. You get the what did he say last week? Oh, I'm in the fan section of the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. You're in the fan section. You know who else is in fan sections? Make-A-Wish kids that want to make a wish to John Cena, but John Cena.
A big old 37-year-old Make-A-Wish kid.
Hey, Chris was calling to see where he was at. Chris was calling to see where he was at, and he was up at 400 something eating all you can eat buffet.
Yeah, I was up there because I didn't want to come back down and go back up again. So I was like, well, I'm gonna eat one hot dog, get a drink here, and eat that, and come back down with another. So I had to go back up again.
Don't mess up. What type of friend are you? What kind of friend are you? I would have been like, I would have came down there, Chris. I would have came down to you, and I've been like, what's up, Chris? What's going on? Hey,
I
Chris,
did come down.
You want to come up here? You want to meet some people? There's actually a seat open. A person didn't come. Chris, you want to come up and say what's up to some people? Tony, you stay your ass down there. It's way too high for you, little one. I don't want you to fall over.
He was going to come over and sit by us, but there weren't no open seats.
Yeah,
but
I did end up meeting Chris out in the concourse and stuff. So,
but what was crazy,
Chris, you didn't have open seats. You didn't have open seats, Chris. But you're a nice friend because you offered. I bet you he had about 3 open seats in that goddamn section.
It was funny because it's true. I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, it's open over here."
Oh yeah, he did tell me there was open over there. There was four of us. But we get there, we get the park and stuff, and we walk up to the stadium. It's just a sea of people. And usually when I've been to Reds games, you just walk in. You ain't ever had to wait like that. Where we're waiting. And my cousin looks up, and all of a sudden he goes, "Hey, there's Big Glenn." Glenn was literally like 15 feet just to the left of us. 44,000 people all piled up trying to get in, and somehow we were 15 feet from each other. It was crazy
funny as hell because I was like, "What the hell?"
Well, good times, man. Again, keep me in mind for Monday Night Raw and that reach around.
Which one are you trying to go to?
The one in Houston.
Okay. Because like I know you live by like Houston and Dallas, and
it's the one in Houston. It's actually at the Toyota Center.
He's gonna need some parking passes too, because he ain't going to pay to park.
Oh no, I'll get my wife to drop me off. I'll take one of my friends. Look, I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to, just if you see me,
Jay, reach around for tickets. What do you do for a parking pass?
Shit. For Indy 500, man, I want to go there on that
one. Okay, let's get back on.
Let's get back on track.
Something here.
You guys ready to talk about some Celtics and Knicks a little bit? They got that game coming up on tonight, right? Yeah, that game's tonight. 8 p.m. tonight.
Oh, yeah, it is night.
Yeah.
You talking about the Knicks game, correct?
Yeah, Knicks and Celtics.
Yeah.
Frankie, what are you thinking? I know you originally, like about everybody, thought the Celtics was going to walk away with this thing, and the Knicks came out and got out to 3-1 lead, and but now things are. I think the momentum may be shifting. I don't know. What do you think?
Is this between the Boston Celtics and the Knicks?
Yep.
Sorry, my daughter's crying right now. Give me 2 seconds. Have somebody else go for a minute.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, here's the thing, man.
A minute.
Hey,
God,
honestly,
I swear to God, Jay, buy my freaking plane ticket already. Damn it.
Hey, Glenn, how much you charge for a plane ticket, man? I know you get them kind of things.
Yeah, Glenn, you get some super fan shit. Give me a super fan ticket.
Super fan ticket, yeah. Maybe for the Pacers, I could.
Make a wish for me. Make a wish for me, Glenn.
Make a wish.
Hey, listen, but there's a reason why Glenn always has a smile on his face when he's doing stuff. Somebody else is doing some things too. I don't know what they're doing. I promise you, Glenn's got a little racket over there going. But anyway, let's get back to the Knicks Pacers game while Gonzo looks confused with what I just said.
I wasn't listening. I don't even know what you said. To be honest.
Hey, look, them dudes handle business. Let's just be honest. Them dudes handle business against New York to the point where Stephen A. has even kind of said he's a little nervous about his Knicks right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was one of those guys that said when Tatum goes down, I felt like that was it. I was like, okay, New York's gonna take this game. They're gonna end the series. It's gonna go back, and then there's gonna be Pacers New York. But obviously, somebody didn't tell that to the New York Knicks because them dudes handle business. White gave you actually. Let me start off with New York. Bridges and Onabui, I don't want to say that dude's last name. They usually are pretty good guys that would stop it. Gonzo, I see you over there laughing at me. Damn it! Oh no, he's. Are you having a heart attack? Okay. I just want to make sure. I don't know. I need to call 911. I'll do it. Okay.
Call 911 for what? You're in Houston. He needs an Indiana freaking 911.
I'll figure it out, man. No, look, Onabui, he went 1 of 12, 1 of 5. He did give you 8 rebounds, but the dude was damn near non-existent. Then you look at Bridges, which is another one of those guys that should be giving you a nod. He went 4 of 14, 1 of 3, gave you what, 9 points? I mean, that's your problem right there. You had anemic starting. Two guys that should be giving you a lot or normal contributors didn't really give you much. So you go and you look at Cat and Brunson and Hart, and now they actually contributed, right? They actually did fairly well. But then you look at the bench, and I'll give McBride. I never even really heard of him too much, but he gives you 11 off the bench. Okay, so he did contribute. But again, you got 35.8% from the field. You're shooting 40% from the 3, which isn't bad at the 3 spot. But at the normal field spot at 35, I told you guys this. I mean, when you're shooting 35, typically that's going to result in a loss. Especially when the Celtics decide to show up, and they go 22 of 49 at the 3, 44 of 84, 52.4 from the field. Well, 52 to 35, that just tells you everything you need to know right there. And so I felt like, again, they got Pritchard. He kind of stuck in and gave you 17 points. I'm assuming he kind of played in for I guess, Tatum. Cornette kind of gave you 10, but he went 5 of 5 from the field. So you got a lot of good production, 27 plus just from your bench. So the bench really stepped in my opinion. The bench stepped in a lot for the absence of Jason Tatum. And again, Holiday, White, and Brown all gave you double digits in scoring. And Brown gave you 12 assists. So I felt like they did really good overall in terms of filling in for where obviously not having Jason Tatum hurt them initially. But, again, when you look at the three-point line, they got him at the three-point line, 22 made versus 12 made for the Knicks. You look at the free throws, which is another one that I thought was huge. Free throws, which is, again, that went towards the Knicks, 32 of 40 for 80% to 17 of 26 at 65%. So I will give them that. Clearly, they were going to the foul line. They were making their free throws. They're doing all that they could on that end of the stick. I just think that three ball ultimately is what got them. And you look at the assists, 27 for the Celtics to 17 for the Knicks. Fast break points, 9-4. And points in the paint, which is a huge one, 36 points in the paint for the Celtics to 26 for the Knicks. So there's a lot of different areas that I felt like the Celtics really executed. And I got to be honest with you, I thought when Tatum went down, I thought that was going to be the end. I thought that was going to be the dagger in the heart for the Celtics. But as many people have said before to me, Jay, don't forget, Celtics got elite players on that team. You're discounting everybody else that's over there. And I'll give you that. I will tell you this. The one thing, I'm going to wrap it up with this. The one thing that I think is an issue, and the reason why I still think the Knicks are going to take this series is because of Porzingis. That dude gave you 0-3 from the field, 1 rebound, 1 foul, and 1 point from Porzingis. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to remember with this. If the Boston Celtics want to win this series, they're going to have to figure out Porzingis, because I really think that's kind of hurting that team a lot.
So here's the thing. If New York wants to win this series, they must win tonight. Because if they go back to Boston, it's over.
No, I wouldn't.
Because I honestly feel like the momentum was shift enough to Boston that Boston, just on momentum alone, could probably ease by.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say that, because let's not forget that New York took 2 games out of Boston, the first 2, and Boston was up by 20, and that's with Jason Tatum. The main reason why New York lost that game, and I'll say it right now, is Kristaps Porzingis was ass. They knew about it. They benched him, which is why he has 1 point, Jay. They benched him, and they brought somebody that no one has ever thought about, who even knows his name, right? He came out with 7 blocks. Okay, he's getting rebounds. He's getting points. 7 blocks. That's all you need to look at. 7 blocks by one player. That's something Kristaps Porzingis was supposed to do. That's something Al Horford was supposed to do. None of them were doing that. You bring this guy in to do it, and look what happened. The Celtics kept the lead. The Celtics kept scoring. That's what happened. Also, they got Karl Anthony Towns on foul trouble with 5 fouls. Then they also had Jalen Brunson fouled out with like 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. That's another thing. Is they put New York into foul trouble. Now, I will say that yes, New York should win it tonight, because most of the fans, like I said to Jay a couple days ago, is that the New York fan base, because I'm over here in New York, I live here, I hear nothing but Knicks, which is troubling to my ears. But because it's the Subway Series, guys, I'm over here singing "Go New York, go New York, go!" Right? So I'm dealing with them. I'm partying with them. It's cool. But what they wanted was a game to come back to Madison Square Garden. They wanted to win at home. Okay, guess what? You got it. Now, if you lose it here, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a little bit troublesome to play back a Game 7 in Boston, but I wouldn't count out New York losing a Game 7. Like, let's not forget that these guys they're still healthy. They still got their people. It's not like somebody's hurt or whatever. They need to just, they need to step it up and stop getting into foul trouble. Plus, they need to change those referees, because we all know that referee was a Boston Celtics fan native. We know that. He was calling nothing but fouls against the Knicks for in favor of Boston. So we need to, let's get Scott Forster up over here or something like that. But I think they ended tonight. I don't think that guy, and I can't say, I don't know, I remember his name. The center that came out for Porzingis, I don't think he's gonna have a dominant game like that again.
I think it's Cornette.
Cornette, yes. I feel like the only dominant game was because New York didn't know about him. Nobody knew about him. They didn't know how he played. They didn't know how he'll play. Now they have it. They know it. and I think they're gonna lock that in if he continues to play tonight and start over Kristaps Porzingis, because I'm pretty sure, and I'm gonna be certain about it, that Boston was like, yo, we're gonna just bench you in game 6 and start this guy for what he did and what you're contributed to which is nothing.
Yeah, real quick, so I didn't even realize that. So when you look at the blocks, yeah, you're right. Celtics had 12 blocks. 4 of the 12 came from Cornet. So the only point I'm trying to make on that is I'm thinking when in tonight's game in Boston needs to start Cornet and put Porzingis on the bench. That's just the way I would play that.
You said 4 blocks came from him alone?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe they had 12. They had 12 blocks total.
Right. I think he ended with 7 blocks.
Was it 7? I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Either way, you're even making my point even more.
Mm-hmm.
I think you start Cornet and have Porzingis come off the bench.
I don't know if I agree with that, Jay. I think I would start the other guy first. Not Porzingis, the other center. I think I'd start him first and bring Cornet off the bench.
Al Horford?
Yeah, I think I would start Horford because of experience.
But you could run
I'm not saying that Cornet
Horford.
would end up playing. Yeah, I think Cornet may end up being playing more minutes, but I think I would start Horford because of the experience.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean,
well, Cornet's not usually a starter. That's why I'm saying.
They can have both of them start, right, Tony? I mean, why not have both of them start? Put Al Horford at the forward and put that dude at the center. You got Jaylen Brown at the guard with Derek White, and then you got Drew Holiday. There you go.
My point is, because when they started the game with Horford and Porzingis. I guess what I'm saying is I would start the game with Horford and Cornet, and then just have Porzingis come off the bench. That's the way I would roll that.
I don't know if Porzingis even plays.
He may not.
They say he's having trouble breathing, so I don't know.
Probably have trouble breathing too if I had a weak heart. But go ahead.
I tell you guys, the one thing that stood out to me in the 2 games the Celtics have won. The first game they won, they had 23 assists. This game they won, they had 27 assists. The other games that they lost, they only had like 15 or 16 assists.
Well, other than the one, they had 25 assists in one game they lost.
Oh, they lost? Okay.
But other than that, yes.
Yeah. So I think that they're like 9-2 in wins and losses without what's his name? I'm having a brain fart. Without Tatum. So I think that's a big key for the Knicks. Can they game plan now? They went into this game and they faced them without Tatum one time here. Now can they change their game plan? Because they're going to have to change their game plan because Boston's game plan has changed. They're not the same team. And I'm not saying
I agree with that.
I'm not saying they're better or worse, but they're a different team. They're going to have to play different to
Absolutely.
win. So now can the Knicks make the adjustments that they need to make? That's going to be interesting. I originally picked the Celtics in 6. I'm going to stick with that. But I'll tell you what, I picked Celtics in 6, so I can't stick with that. But I'm going to stick with the Celtics to win it. That was my original pick, was the Celtics to win it. So I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change it now. But if I think the Knicks are going to win it, they need to win it tonight. Because the pressure on them going back to Boston would be awful.
Yeah.
That was a funny moment.
I had a brain fart there. Yeah, they can't win it in 6. I'm bitch. Hey, I'm doing that.
Leave Tony alone, man. He ain't got his advocates over there to slide them beads, okay? Leave that man alone.
He had about 3 brain farts.
Chris, what you think, man? I think it's going to be a good game tonight. I thought the Celtics would win the last game. I didn't think Knicks was going to close it out, and when they got up 3-1. I've just seen too many teams when they lose a big star come out the next game and play a good game. So I thought the Celtics would do that. And if you watch this series, the Celtics have been in. I mean, they could very easily won every game. They had, like Frankie said earlier, had a 20-point lead in game 1, lost it. But what happens with the Celtics a lot is they quit passing the ball and they start playing ISO ball. And everybody just stands around, and that's when they struggle to score, and that's when they collapse in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying they're better without Tatum, but what I think helps them in the fourth quarter without Tatum is Tatum the finisher, is Brown the finisher, who we going to in the fourth quarter now. Without Tatum in there, I think everybody plays a little more free because in the fourth quarter. So I think that kind of helps him in a way kind of close it out. Because a lot of times, I'm not shitting on Tatum, but there's a lot of times where Tatum disappears in fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I think that can help them a little bit. I'm not saying they're a better team without Tatum, but like you said, they have a pretty good record without Tatum. But I picked Boston to win the series, so I'm going to stay with them for it. But I think tonight's going to be a good game. I think Boston's going to figure out a way to force a game 7. But if New York wants to win this series, I agree with you guys. They need to win tonight. I don't see them going to Boston and winning the game 7.
You know what I'm hearing, Jay? You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing a bunch of Pacer fans wishing for a game 7 so their boys can rest a little bit longer. You guys sound soft right now. You guys sound soft right now. Y'all want some rest for your boys. I hear it. I understand it. I get it. You guys want a game 7.
Hey,
we're
getting a week of rest no matter what happens. So it don't matter.
They don't play on Wednesday.
We play Wednesday no matter what.
Hey, look, no. See, Frankie, you see, the problem with it is you just went about it all wrong. What they're really trying to do is stretch it out as long as they can, because every day it stretches out, that's one more day that they don't have to hang out with us in Cancun. That's all they're really trying to do. That's all they're trying to do.
This is a good question from Joe, and I'm going to ask this to Tony, Chris, and Glenn. Do you guys think having all this time off for the Pacers is going to be troublesome for them come the Eastern Conference Finals?
That's a good point.
No. In this case, no. And the reason why I say it is because all of our guys are young.
Glenn, shut the. Oh my God, Tony! I'm going to ask professionals. Tony and Chris, can you please? Oh my God, this guy.
I'll be honest, I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't like having that much time off. 2 or 3 days, I think, is plenty, because I think you stay in a rhythm and you stay in a row. That's just me personally, of watching games for many years. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and the thing is, if New York wins it tonight, they're going to have 5-6 days off, because, like I said, the next game's not to Wednesday. The conference finals don't start to Wednesday. So I mean, we're going to have 7 days rest, 8 days rest, whatever. They're going to have, if it ends tonight, they're going to have 5 or 6. So I don't think that's a huge difference. Now, if they end up going to another game and playing what, Monday night, that changes things, because now they're going to have to turn around and play again on Wednesday. So I don't know. I don't know
I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think having all that rest is going to hurt them from winning the series. I think if anything, it could cause them. If anything, what I think would happen for the Pacers when they come game 1 is that maybe they come out a little flat, because sometimes it takes
like first quarter or something.
Like, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get back into that rhythm, because you have been off for a little bit. So to get back into playing with each other, maybe you come out a little flat, maybe even for the first half. And I look for the Pacers to kick it back up into the third quarter, going to the second half at the worst part of it. But that would be the only thing that I'd be concerned about. Is not that they're coming out flat to start the series. That would be the only thing. But I don't think it's going to keep them from winning the series or losing this series.
All right. Well, thank you for that take, Jay, when nobody even asked you. Okay. I asked the Pacer fans. All right. I'm gonna go back and I want to ask Chris, okay? Since you want to cut people off and give your take when nobody asked you. But Chris, all right, you got the long rest, but either or, with the long rest, you also have to add in a travel, because you guys have to travel to either New York or Boston. Does the travel plus the long rest hurt you guys a little bit going into the Eastern Conference Final? Chris, not Jay. Chris.
I don't think it will. I'm not real worried about it. I kind of agree with what Jay said. If it does, it might be a little bit at the beginning of the game. But the reason I'm not worried about it is because of Rick Carlisle, the way he's had this team focused. Because you see a lot of teams get up 3-1, come out the next game, don't play flat. They came out that next game with the gas on the pedal the whole time. Even the game before that, when they got up by 41 at halftime, they came out in the second half. Usually you see teams kind of play the score, let teams back in it. They kept the gas on the pedal. So I think, or the foot on the gas pedal. So I think they'll be all right. If they might get off to a little bit slow start in the first quarter, but if you watch the Pacers like we have, there's a lot of time they get off to. They kind of start to slow in the first quarter, and then usually the second quarter on is when they kind of really hit their groove. So I'm not expecting to affect us that much, but you never know. Plus, I think the experience from last year, being in the playoffs and being in the Eastern Conference Finals, I think that's going to help us as well.
Hey, hold on. Before you answer that, two things. Number one, don't act like they're traveling far. It's just Indiana to New York. It's probably like a 2-hour flight. So it's not like they're flying like exponentially far. Number two, Frankie, you're the reason why the U.S. doesn't want Puerto Rico to be a state, only our secondhand bitch as a territory. Thank you very much. Now go ahead and talk about the rags.
This is coming from a Houston fan, right? Who's over there, and a veteran who's over there
In the Gulf of America.
That Canada.
Hey, it might not be a very long flight, but it's a longer flight than what Houston has to take right now.
Oh,
see, okay. Now, see, hold up. Hold up. See, I understand because sometimes, the mobily challenged wants to talk about some things. I get it, man. I got you, man. See, I'm over here sticking up for the Pacers, defending you, and then you want to come at me with some sideways stuff. But you know what? Don't you worry, because you know what? Now that you just said that, I'm gonna go pee on your freaking pillow in your room, and I'm not gonna tell you which one got peed on when you get your room in Cancun. Don't worry, killer, because you're gonna be there too.
I'll make sure
I'm gonna be there holding the championship.
the championship is gonna be his pillow. He ain't peeing on that.
Be there holding the championship trophy.
And they call Cowboys fans delusional.
Hey, you're the one that was delusional. You told me that Pacers went on Cleveland.
Let me tell you what I told you. Hold on a minute.
They wasn't on the Pacers level, goddammit. We're back in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Bro, you're playing a disabled team. Don't act like you accomplished something.
They're at home giving people reach around like you.
Like you accomplished. I want to get going.
They're at home giving reach around. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
You know what? I'm gonna let you have that. Logan, hold on. Don't make sure. I want to make sure we get this clip worthy. Hold on. We're generating clips off this show, so I want to make sure this clip is generated perfectly. Logan, please start the tape now. I want everybody to understand one thing. We went against Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Hold on. I said we're doing a clip here. We're doing a clip here. Take number two. Take number two. We went against a very strong, experienced championship caliber team. They went up against 2 dudes and 3 dudes sitting on the disabled line, and they want to sit there and talk smack. That's fine. You know what? Here's the deal. Hold on.
Won a championship. You guys won. Okay, go.
One more. See, you're cutting me off. Don't make me do a gonzo on you. Don't make me do a gonzo. Please don't make me do a gonzo on you. Don't make me go gonzo on you.
Jay, keep cutting you off. Hey.
Like a chihuahua.
No, just go ahead. No, that's what I was going to say. You know what? At first, I was rooting for the Pacers. I said, you know what? I'm going to root for the Pacers. I was going to root for the Pacers to win the championship. But
So
now,
here's the thing.
But hold on, please. Hold on, Glenn. Hold on 1 second, okay? But don't hold on too long because, I need those tickets from you. But don't hold on. Hold on a minute.
No, I'll wait.
Hold on. This is wait 1 second. I was actually rooting, and I've told Gonzo this several times. I said, you know what? I said, let me tell you something. I'm going to root for you guys because if my Rockets, couldn't make it, I was going to go for the team that I felt was not getting the respect. But now that I've talked to you, Gonzo, I realize why you don't get the respect. And now I'm rooting against you. Down with the damn Pacers. I hope y'all burn an effigy when New York comes to town. Or Boston.
Vegas had the Pacers underdogs every single game against
There's a reason. You were going against disability children.
No, we were underdogs. Well, we were.
Yeah, we were underdogs the whole series. Yeah.
8, 9, 10-point underdogs every game.
Let me ask you a question. Jay, if you play the
that's
game,
the case, then it is what it is.
Wait a minute. If you're healthy enough to play the game, you play the game with no excuses, right? If you play the game, that means you were healthy enough.
Are we gonna? Is that what we're pulling out of the book of quotations?
Answer the question.
Is this what we're digging out of the book of quotations? Okay.
Frankie said,
if you walk out on the court, are you going to use that as an excuse? Oh, I didn't feel good, or oh, I had a toe. No, if you stepped on the court, you decided you were good enough to play, and you go out and play. Correct?
yeah.
You're saying they were disabled.
Hold on.
You said they were disabled.
Hold on. I understand what you're trying to do.
They had all their players on the fucking court. You guys lost to Golden State Warriors without fucking Jimmy Butler. Without Jimmy Butler. And you
One
were talking
game
about
he
you
was
guys.
up. No,
you guys-
without one game. One game he wasn't there.
Right.
We did beat him with Jimmy Butler. Don't act like we didn't beat him with Jimmy
Cleveland had
Butler.
one player that didn't play a game. The rest of their guys was there the whole fucking time. And we beat Young.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, right? Hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It sounds really good when we go to the book of quotations of inspiring quotes. I get it. It sounds good. But the problem is when medical science comes in and you're dealing with hamstring issues or whatever, do you really ever think you're 100%? Yes, you're on the court, but are you truly 100%? Are you truly 100%?
Who had a hamstring injury?
I'm talking about in the Minnesota series with Steph Curry. I'm saying this. Even when you come back, sometimes you're not all the way healthy. You're healthy enough to get on the court, but are you really 100% healthy of who you are as a player? Probably not. Because if that's the case, you know how many athletes get out there that aren't 100%. And they go up against people who are 100%. But it's okay. If you want to go with the narrative of if you're healthy enough to get on the court, then you're healthy enough that you should be 100% to beat us. Okay, I'll buy that narrative, and we'll go with that narrative. I'm down 100%. And when the New York Knicks come to town, or the Tatumless Celtics come to town, and they mollywop your ass, I'm going to be the first one to say to you, "Hey man, what the fuck happened? Because you were so chihuahua to the great day." Biting on the ankles and shit. Well, okay. I want to see that same energy. I want that same energy when you get the no respect.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing.
Give me that same energy. Everybody on here. I want everybody on here to know Bravo's energy.
You're gonna say what happened? I'm gonna say we got our asses kicked. I'll tell you what I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna say, well, Golden State was really like a 2 seed, and or the Celtics was really like a 2 seed, and the Pacers are really more like a 6 seed.
I never said that.
I'm not going to backtrack.
This is where I get a little upset. Hold on. This is where I get a little upset.
I'm tired of hearing about these fucking injuries. I got another.
No, I understand. Well,
I gave you your chance to talk. Let me.
All right, but if you're gonna quote me, you quote me correctly. If you quote me, you quote me correctly. Because everybody on this panel knows. No. See, that's where you're wrong. Hold on, that's where you're wrong. Because everybody in this panel knows that Jay McLovin and even Tony, your dad, sitting next to you, will tell you that I said I felt like that Golden State with Jimmy Butler is a legitimate freaking 2 seed, and that Houston is probably a 3 seed.
Before that, you said Houston was going to go to the Western Conference Finals, and as soon as they got their ass whooped, you changed your whole tune, and that's when you said that. But anyway, let me finish my point. You want to talk about disabled people. The Pacers, or what? What's the Pacers record against the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland this year?
5-0.
5-0. Okay, they had all their starters in them regular season games. What's the rest of the NBA's record against Cleveland at home this year?
They only lost 6 games against the NBA.
Yeah, 6-36.
36-6.
Okay, so
we beat them back to back.
Okay.
We beat them back to back.
Yeah, and you didn't make it out of the first round of the playoffs.
We did go 7 games, did we not?
Yeah.
And we did go against 7 games. And we did go 7 games against a pretty good competition. Yes or no?
You won 7 games against a team that's already out of the playoffs, but yeah.
Oh my God.
You're right, because Steph Curry's injury
games that we win.
didn't play into
We
that.
have 2 gentlemen sweeps. We have 2 gentlemen sweeps. We ain't
You're about to get gentlemen swept when he played New York, but it's okay. I'll let you know what we will put this conversation aside. We'll put this specific conversation aside for now. And then after y'all go to the New York series or the Boston series, whoever it is you play,
at least we have
we'll
a chance to lose in the conference finals. At least we have a chance to lose in the conference finals.
Okay. But that's why you don't get your respect.
Oh, we're going to get our respect because we're going to win a chip this year.
Chris is so on fire. I'm waiting for him to read this comment. And I know he's going to come out with some steam.
The afternoon show is an entertaining show, I'll tell you that much. Great debate going on here today, guys.
Is that what that was?
Yes.
No, you know what?
It's almost like a presidential debate.
Well, I guess Gonzo's Kamala. Anyway.
I can't be Kamala because you're Biden and we're not on the same side. Since you're Biden.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. All right, I see what you did
there.
there.
Hey, Jay Biden, you have the Biden moments. You have the Biden moments.
We can't say nothing about. Oh, I know Biden had motives, but Trump's been having his moments too. These old fuckers don't need to be president. He's out there calling Mattel a country.
Okay,
fucking Mattel's a country. Where the fuck's he at?
Hey.
What else?
Calm down over there. Calm down over there. Calm down. I see right now. You're out of the telephone booth. You're already standing up.
I may have to watch the local news and I see if Tony and Chris do something up in Muncie. Shoot somebody.
All I know is if I ever make my happy old ass up to Muncie, the first thing I'm going to do is find out where Gonzo live. I'm going to walk straight up to the door. I'm going to ring the doorbell. He's going to come to the door and I'm going to face chop his ass right in the door.
Pablo probably beat you to it. I know how them chihuahuas are, man. See?
Okay, hot.
It is hot in here.
Hey, listen, we got like 9 more minutes. Let's talk a little. Let's switch gears a little bit to hockey if we can, man.
Okay.
Oh my God, the hell with hockey.
Hey, don't say that because the Bruins aren't even in it.
Because it's rivalry weekend in baseball, damn it.
Let's talk Mets Yankees. Let's talk Mets and Yankees.
God damn, not just the Yankees. You got the Reds versus the Cleveland Guardians. Ohio, the Battle of Ohio. You got New York versus New York in the Subway Series. You got Houston versus Texas. And you want to talk about the goddamn Stars? Nobody cares. You lost. Boo-hoo. You got one more game to win. Shut up. We don't care.
You just watching hockey. You clearly aren't watching hocky.
Speaking of the Reds,
I'm not watching hockey.
Speaking of the Reds in Cleveland, did you see what they done today for that game? It was supposed to start at 6:40. About 1 o'clock this afternoon, they decide they're starting the game at 10 after 5 because of the weather forecast. It said if you had tickets for 6:40, they're still good for the 5:10 game.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
They start the gate. They're opening the gates at 10 after 4. Start the game at 10 after 5.
Hey, so by the time they get there,
it's originally supposed to start at 20 to 7.
I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah, I'd be if I had tickets and like you didn't get off work to a certain time.
Yeah, because that means you done missed the whole game. There'll be a rebate. They're gonna get that money back. I would imagine.
Yeah, because see, me and Chris and Tony, we live almost the same distance from Great American based on our distance to Cincinnati. It takes you about a little over 2 hours to get there, so I'll be pissed too.
Glenn, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, Glenn. You get your tickets for free.
Yeah.
You don't care.
Oh no! If I gotta do a reach around to get a ticket from Glenn, I wonder what he does to get those tickets. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what he's doing over there.
Frankie, what's your thoughts on this big series you guys are in tonight?
Oh my God, my thoughts are we're gonna smack these dudes. These dudes, they think they got good pitching. We're about to show them they got shitty pitching. Juan Soto already warming himself up like I already know the fans are gonna boo me. They have the right to blah blah blah. Now we're not gonna boo you, Soto. We're gonna say I don't want to curse on here because Logan will kick me off. But you know what we're gonna say, Soto. You know what we're gonna say. And you're playing at the spot where the Yankee crowd is, like, the roll call, man, they're gonna be up Juan Soto's ass. I can't wait. It's gonna be a good game. I'm hoping that we sweep these fools. And Jay, we did our job in helping you guys get closer and closer to yours. It's gonna be a good series against the Mets. I've been waiting for this all season long, baby.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, for us, is we're a game and a half back of Seattle. Texas is in the second spot right now. They're a half game back of Seattle. But we're playing Texas tonight. And in all honesty, if you look at the way the series are lining up in this division, you got Seattle going against the Dodgers. So the Dodgers handle business, and if Houston can handle business against the Rangers, and then I think the Athletics are going up against somebody else. I think the Athletics are going up against the Giants, and Seattle is going up against the Padres. It should, in theory, on paper, all the hard matchups. Honestly, I think Houston has the easiest of it because we're going against Texas, and Texas isn't playing quite like they have been in the past. it should be an alignment that Houston could take over first by the end of this series, and by the end of those series. And then if they don't, if we just stay within a game, then our next opportunity would be against Seattle, because we got a 4-game series against Seattle within the next week or so. So I got to tell you, Houston Astros, I said all that to say this, man. Look, we've been in second place, third place, fourth place, all from the start of this season. We are in prime position to take over the damn division. And if we don't do it, it's because you guys didn't execute, because everything is there for you to do it. You just got to go out and do it. And I will say this. The only thing that kind of sucks right now is we're playing like I think we're almost playing 3 rookies right now in our starting rotation. That's the only thing that's kind of hurting us. But to be honest with you, they haven't really played that bad. The 2 rookies we played have only given up a couple of runs in each of their starts. So they're not performing bad. But Houston's got to get more run production. Right now, I feel like we're not getting nowhere near enough runs. And that's really what's kind of hurting. I think the pitching has done a good job, but our run support needs to step their game up. Paredes, all you guys, y'all need to step up.
Yeah, Houston, step up. God, fucking bunch of sore losers.
Says the guy.
Can't call them cheaters no more. Every single one of them that was on that team is gone left and right except for one. So you can't call them cheaters.
Hey, you got your hands full though, man. You guys got to go up against the Mets, man. Hey, Mets. It's not like the Mets are playing bad baseball. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think you guys right now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Yankees are number 5 in the power rankings. I think the Mets are like 3 or 4. I think LA is at the top of the division or top of the power rankings right now. I forget who was at number 2. I don't think it was the Phillies. There was another team in there. It may have actually been the Mets that was number 2.
Whose power rankings are you going by? Like,
now again, I know there's multiple power rankings out there. I think the one I was going, it may have been off.
No shit. That's why I was asking you if you knew which power rankings you was going by. I know there's multiple.
You know, you're getting
might be
close
MLB. They go
I swear to God, dude, I am this close to giving Glenn or Richard to get a ticket up to New York. I mean, up to Indiana, just to come find your ass. I swear to God, we're gonna do it in the front yard, and I am going to power slap you. And Gonzo's gonna have, Tony's gonna have a water hose trying to hose us both off.
Hey, wait a minute, we ain't doing nothing in the front yard.
What the hell you guys gonna be doing? Front yard. I'm about to put a
Hey, listen,
I know what they're going to do.
I'm about to be Monday. Hey, hold on, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, hold on. We're gonna have Friday night SmackDown right there in Gonzo and Tony's front yard. Gonzo and Tony, you can be the referee.
Friday night sundown.
Frankie, you gotta get control of these people.
This is getting crazy.
Friday night SmackDown at Gonzo's house, and we'll only charge you 1/3 of the price that SmackDown would cost.
Okay,
$5.
Oh, good Lord. Chris, what do you think?
Glenn be out there with this pink fedora. It'd be perfect.
I think the Reds are going to win the series.
You think?
I think the Reds are going to win the series. I told you this on the way home from Cincinnati when we was there Wednesday night after we lost to the White Sox.
Yeah.
I told on the ride back, I was saying I think the Reds have played good this weekend. For one, we always play Cleveland tough because of the rivalry. But for two, it's Francona's old. It's Francona's old team as well.
Yeah.
So that makes it a little more as well. I think they're going to play good. We got some momentum yesterday. I know our record isn't where we want it to be yet, but there is one good thing: we haven't been swept. We haven't been swept yet this year. That's true. I mean, last year we've been swept a lot. We have been able to avoid getting swept, but we should have won. Like, you can't be losing series to the White Sox, so we got to get back going tonight against Cleveland. Then we go play the Pirates. And we need to get that series.
You got to hit the damn ball, man. You're not going to win games when your fucking batting average is like 200.
Well, the thing is, though, that night we were there, we had like 8 or 9 hits, but we couldn't get hits when we had guys in scoring position.
Yeah, couldn't get guys over.
And one guy missed a 3-run home run by, well, it wasn't much, 2 feet.
No.
Right fault.
Hit it to the deepest part of the field. If that ball would have been anywhere else, it was a home run. But he hit straight center, and it just barely missed. But it was a fun game to go to, even though we Also, I had a great time.
Our pitching's doing pretty well.
Yeah, we have two
pitching is
pitchers that could be up for. We have two pitchers that could be up for Cy Young.
Well, Yankees are the winning team of us. I mean, they're leading the division. Yankees are.
Hey, just so you're tracking, this is off ESPN. I'm sure y'all think ESPN should be a reliable social power rankings, at least a little bit. So on ESPN, they have they got the Dodgers at 1, Mets at 2, Tigers at 3, Padres at 4, Yankees at 5, Phillies at 6, Cubs at 7, 8 is the Giants, 9 is the Mariners, 10 is the Guardians, 11 is the Diamondbacks, 12 is the Royals, 13 is Boston, 14 is Braves, 15 is the Cardinals, 16 is the Twins, 17 is the Astros, 18 is the Rangers, 19 is the A's, 20 is the Brewers, and rounding it out for all three of us is 21 with the Reds.
A's a
Sounds
ton
about
of
right.
I know that's
What the hell's the A's record?
I knew that power rankings was trash when they had that.
No, the A's are above 500. You guys are below 500.
Are we?
The A's are at 22 and
I didn't know the A's
21,
were.
and you guys are at 20 and 24.
20. Yeah.
If we lose tonight, it'll be 2025, the same year.
You
as
guys,
this year.
hey Tony, you guys were at 15.
Wait a
You
minute.
guys were
What'd you say our
at
record
15.
was?
20 and
What'd you say our
24.
record? We're 21.
20 and 24 is what they have on here.
That's probably from yesterday.
Yeah.
Them rankings probably from yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. They
They
did.
probably count the game.
You guys went from 15 to 24.
We got
Or
Mike
15
in
to
here right now,
21.
man. Yeah, he must have heard us talking about the Cubs because Mike's in here right now.
Yeah, Cardinals have won 9 straight. They're playing really well. Braves have been playing really well too after that terrible start they got off to.
I'm thinking about going to Cincinnati next week and watching the Reds play the Cubs Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, he's going to watch not that weekend, but he's going to watch Snoop Dogg in concert after the Reds game too.
Yeah, in August. I think they
yeah.
play the Pirates that game.
What day is that
But
going
then
to go?
Snoop's doing a post game concert. He's going to post game concert. I'm gonna go to that. What'd you say, Glenn?
I said, what day is that Snoop Dogg?
It's August 11th.
August 11th. Okay.
Hey, Mike, I did want to say though, man. Hey, how about them Cubs? You guys are playing good ball out there in Chicago. So, I'll give you your prop. You guys are doing well.
And Glenn, like the day before, the day after, they're going to have a train is doing a post game concert.
Oh yeah, I'll probably go to Snoop Dogg. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I'm definitely going to that game when Snoop's going to perform.
you know what's funny about that is where we was at for the Pete Rose and stuff, man. You know, probably smelling pretty good up there at the gate going in.
Oh, fuck, dude, you can smell it everywhere walking up to the game.
Yeah.
I didn't smell too much going up. I smelled it
I
after.
smelled it big time when we was walking up as well.
Hey, but marijuana is legal where you guys are at, correct? Isn't Indiana? Is that a weed friendly state?
No.
Oh, it's not. It's not a weed
Every
friendly
state around us is though.
You can't even buy cold beer.
Oh, damn. What about Ohio? Is Ohio a weed friendly state, or is
I
it?
believe so. To an extent.
It just almost ain't been a year yet since Ohio's been legal.
Wow, I'm hoping Texas eventually will be legal, but
Illinois, all the bordering states of Indiana are legal. Michigan, Illinois, Ohio.
you'd think they go ahead and legalize it in Indiana. I mean, you can get them good tax dollars off of that stuff.
Yeah, there's a big pharmaceutical company up here that I think has a pretty good say in that one.
Yeah, I'm sure it always is. It's always a lot of politics in that. But hopefully, maybe one day, the whole U.S. will be weed friendly. We'll see.
Frank, you guys gonna get a sweep?
Hell yeah.
No, hell no. They're not getting no sweep. Yankees aren't getting no sweep.
They're gonna be down 0-1 tonight.
Hey, who's on the mound for you tonight? Warren? Is it Warren?
No, it's Carlos Rodon.
That's right.
Frankie,
I got Carlos Rodon. I forgot about that. Yeah, it is Carlos Rodon.
Frankie, you playing MLB The Show? Is that what you're doing?
Nah, I was.
really was. No, but I changed it to Call of Duty. I
tell you what, man, I've been on the WWE like crazy ever since it came out.
I decided since Jay wanted to keep on talking about his shitty teams, I might as well just play my game.
Oh, you're gonna play poopy around there too.
I'm sorry, you said something. It went in one ear and out the other. What'd you say? I was getting a kill. There was a
No.
character-
You guys actually are favored. Well, ESPN has you favored by 60% to 39.5.
Yeah.
So, and I guess you got Warren going against Tyler McGill.
That's because the Mets are trash and they've won nothing but against shit. Like all their games they won are against shitty teams. That's why I don't care. But the losses that they have on their record are against good teams. Obviously, I don't give a damn about the Mets. You already know how I feel about the Mets. They're my redheaded stepchild that I pay no attention to because I'm not paying their mother child support. I'm hoping that they. I'm hoping that they're not. Yeah, I said it, Chris. I said it, Chris. I'm going over the fence, Chris. I said it.
No, I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't. It wasn't what you said, Jay. Who'd you say they had pitching? Warren.
It was McGill versus Rodon.
Yeah, Rodon. Okay.
Yeah, and then let me ask you this though: you got Canning going against Schmidt. Yeah, that you should be able to get that one too because Canning's got a 2.36 ERA, and Schmidt has a 4.73. Is there any particular one of those three games that you are worried about in terms of pitching?
Nope. I'm fully confident. Maybe Carlos Rodon. Sometimes he's a hit and miss. But
Yes.
not really. Clark Smith has been playing great, and then we got Max Fried after Clark Smith. So everybody know Max Fried is already like literally contending for the Cy Young next year.
Yeah, you got Fried has got a 1.11 going against Peterson, who's got a 3.05. So yeah, you should be able to get your pitching should be on point there.
Singer's on the mound for us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, with the pitching you guys got versus their pitching, at least on paper, it looks like you guys should be able to get the sweep. I guess it depends on how your offense responds, but but yeah.
Baseball, it's hard to go by the statistics all the time. I mean, it's hard to sweep a team. I'm not saying you don't do it. Of course, it happens. Like I said, St. Louis has won 9, 10, 11 in a row. So Atlanta's been hot too. So I mean, you just never know. Well, the other night we had a guy with a 3 ERA going against a guy with a 5 ERA, and we made that dude look like he was Cy Young. So fuck,
I mean, it really just depends on your hitters, right? If they get off to a hot start, or if they're if they're not seeing the ball well. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of factors in baseball, right, that really play into that.
I think baseball is the hardest sport to play.
I think from a strategic and technical aspects, yeah, it is hard. It ain't easy. It ain't easy, that's for sure.
You can be a fantastic athlete and not be able to play baseball. So I mean, it's
well. I mean, look at Jordan. Jordan was a hell of an athlete, but he obviously couldn't crack the MLB squad. Even though I will say this, there are a couple of ones. I know Dion did it and Bo Jackson did it, but those are, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think those are the only two that they've ever done two sports. Are there any of the athletes that have done two at the professional level? I got him, Bo Jackson and Dion.
I couldn't hear you if you said that.
No, you're good. But I think those are the only two, though.
Only two I can think of.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, that's all I got. Unless you guys got some more stuff y'all want to talk about, other than the Stars. Hopefully, we'll get the win tomorrow night, because we're not going to be on live tomorrow. We got the Stars trying to close out the series against Winnipeg, and I got to tell you, I'm just going to say one thing about that series. Is the fact that Ottinger is just playing out of his freaking mind defensively. I can't tell you. Every single game, they get at least double the shots on goals, but they only get one actual goal. Like last night, we lost 1-0.
Yep.
And they definitely had us down way more than double shots on goal. I mean, it was incredible. So I got to give Ottinger mad respect, dude. Because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be where we are currently at 3-2 right now. That's all I gotta say about that. Got to Chris.
Ready to get out of here?
All right. Anybody else have anything before we get out?
Oh, that's all I had. Frankie, you got anything you want to say? Anything else more, brother? Other than the fact that you're a douche.
We'll be live Sunday with the wrestling show at 3 on network.
Oh yeah, Warrior Pro on Sunday, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Big Glenn, man.